In today's Scottish road trip episode, I make some roadkill, stumble upon a mermaid's purse, and explore a spectacular cave. That's coming right up, so don't go anywhere and remember to hit the subscribe button if you're new. Alright, we're checking out our lovely, awesome villa here in John O Groats, and we are on our way. Love that. Got everything, double check. I have to start with our coffee every single day. Keeps you going, keeps you awake for the long drive ahead. As I sat having coffee, I couldn't help but notice some weird metal bars with rocks on them outside the cafe, so I went to investigate. So one of the reasons John O Groats is also significant to this video series is the fact that there is a Pentland Firth. One interesting fact about the Pentland Firth over there is it has some of the strongest tides in the world pulling through this narrow channel. Tides here in the Pentland Firth are so strong that it is one of the first places in the world where they have been experimenting with tidal power and harnessing that tidal power as an energy resource, renewable energy. One of the things they were worried about when they were building the underwater turbines is the dangers from boulders, right? And this is something that is absolutely shocking. But out there in the Pentland Firth, the tides are that strong. They have loads of big circular boulders like this one that weigh up to 1.5 tons in weight that just roll around in the tide on the muddy bottom. They get moulded into these kind of circular shapes. And that's also why two environmental Scottish artists produced these sculptures here as a kind of visual representation of that actually happening right here on the shorefront. So these big arches, the metal archways, represent the waves. The biggest one's 5 metres, which is a wave that's not that uncommon in the Pentland Firth, and the big boulders, which are a representation, a physical, visual representation of the boulders that roll around on the Pentland Firth out there. The tides are fierce. I've been on a ferry out there all the way to Orkney, and let me tell you, the whirlpools out there are absolutely scary. But it's not only an interesting fact, it's also highly relevant to this series because of what I'm doing. I'm using a car that uses electricity. Renewable energy here in Scotland is a heavy part of our energy mix, and that is why driving an electric vehicle here in Scotland makes so much sense. Because the thing is, if the tide out there in the Pentland Firth is powerful enough to move a boulder like this around on the seabed, it's certainly powerful enough to give us lots of free renewable energy through turbines. Today's NC 500 journey starts in John O Groats, in the far northeastern point of Scotland, and ends in Scourie, in Scotland's far northwest. Just before coming into Thurso, we went through a massive swarm of insects on the road, and look what it's done to the car. The car is now totally and utterly caked in midges and flies and other things. So now that we're here in Thurso, I can also now safely say conclusively, if there was any ever debate what is the best place to stay between Thurso and Wick, if you were to choose one of the two, Thurso wins that race, hands down, no question. Let's just put it that way. Be interesting to know your thoughts if you have stopped at either of the two places. While the Scottish Highlands are considered untouched and unspoiled, you don't have to look far to find some unpleasant effects of human activity. Alright guys, I've come down to a very special beach here on the north coast. One that I think is a little bit important that I stop it and just explain what happened here. You might be able to see there in the distance behind me the white cone of Dounreay Nuclear Power Station. Sustainable energy, right? But they had an incident here. A really serious incident. And the ramifications of that incident can still be seen right here on the beach today. See this sign here? It's a warning, a clear public warning, not to touch or remove anything from this beach because they've been finding these nuclear particles on this beach, and it's quite a scary thought that. I actually came fishing on this beach years ago, perhaps unwisely. If these particles are on the beach that are in the air that we're breathing, they're tiny, they're 0.5 millimeters, so like they'll be blown around with the sand here. Maybe it's not a great place to stop and have a chat and show you around, but I thought it was an interesting point anyway, because we're talking about clean energy, we're talking about electricity, which is powering my car, right? Now a lot of that is generated through nuclear. Now it is important to note that this nuclear power station was formed many years ago, right? Modern ones are different, but there are risks involved. But I'd come to Sandside to find something altogether more natural. So I've actually come to this beach to look for something in particular that I'm fascinated by, that I know exists here, and very specifically here, and nobody's really sure why you find them here, and that's a mermaid's purse. And if you don't know what a mermaid's purse is, it is the egg of fish from the shark family, skates and rays and dogfish. You know, you do find mermaid's purses around the UK, but on this beach in particular, for some reason you find the mermaid's purse of common skate. Common skate are the largest skate species that you can find in the UK. They're absolutely ginormous, usually about the size of a car. So the mermaid's purse from a common skate is giant as well. Just gonna have a wee look around and see if I can see one. Is that one down there? It is? Wow. That's what I'm looking for. Look at that. It's lying right there in the sand. You can see the size of the thing, it's absolutely huge. Just gonna pick that up and show you guys, but look, that is what I'm talking about. That is a mermaid's purse of a common skate, right? So you can imagine what size the babies are. Pretty big already. I know I shouldn't really be touching things on this beach because of the warning signs, but these things are really special. And obviously the baby's already come out of them. Okay, so I've no idea where we are. Somewhere on the north coast, but we had to stop because we saw this magnificent beach, and there's also a zip line across it. A bit bizarre, but like just white sands, pure golden white sands and turquoise water. It looks absolutely glorious here. So we're just going to take a quick photo op. I actually feel as though we've kind of left Scotland. It doesn't seem like Scotland. It reminds me more of Iceland, this part of the country. I've never been here before, it's a shameful. Okay, so I think one of the absolute requirements on an NC 500 as a stop, as a place to visit, as a place of natural beauty to visit, is the Smoo Cave. We've just arrived. Basically, almost as far northwest as you can go, directly in a line west from John O Groats. Took us about, what, 2 hours to get here from there? Maybe an hour and a half. So we're gonna go inside the Smoo Cave, take a wee adventure and see what we can see. I'm not sure if it's a long walk, not sure if it's a high walk, but there's a set of steps leading down. Should be good to go and have a wee look anyway. This is one of the places you see in all the Instagram posts of the NC 500. Let's go and have a look. So a wee bridge that gets you onto the cave, which is there, and behind me, at least the entrance is behind me there. Wow, what a pretty place, look at this. It's the type of place you'd imagine would look pretty amazing if it was all lit up. The colours inside this cave are absolutely spectacular, check it out. My phone is struggling to deal with that. That's amazing. The name Smoo sounds odd, but apparently it comes from a Norse word meaning hiding place, and there are plenty of places to hide in these caves. This place is absolutely mind-blowing. We've not even got inside the cave proper yet. It's like a cathedral, you can hear the noise echoing all the way around. Wow, very special. I can't believe it's taken me all these years to come up here. Whoop, almost came a cropper there on the rocks, but fear not, all is well. Right guys, I was just speaking to one of the cavers that works here and does tours. Fortunately the tours are over for today, right? But usually, apparently in that back corner where the light is, there is a torrent of waterfall that falls in through here, and standing right here on this wooden platform, apparently you get soaked. But it hasn't rained here for at least 3 weeks, the guy told us. So the water in the cave is extremely clear, much clearer than it usually would be, and there's no waterfall whatsoever. So what the tours are, you actually go into the water and you follow a rope that's down there, obviously with an experienced guide, and you go into a special wee cave at the back there. That sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe next time, not time for us today, but that does sound cool. Well, Smoo Cave, that was pretty impressive. Definitely recommended on your top lists of things to do on the NC 500. Come here, it's worth it. Here at the top of the hill at the Smoo Cave, there's like a honesty box thing with homemade bits and pieces. There's like Scottish tablet, which you guys need to know about. Tablet is amazing. There's fudge, there's some books for sale as well. Lots of bits and pieces, so we're going to get some tablet, Scottish tablet, because it is the best thing since sliced bread. £2, pretty reasonable. Do you know what tablet is? Surely you know what Scottish tablet is. I'm going to tell you about it. That tablet that we picked up is absolutely, wow, mouth-wateringly good. Tablet is basically condensed milk, sugar, melted, and then set into a hard ball. Scottish classic and delicious, but you can't eat too much of it because it's very sweet. Anyway, we've arrived at our destination where we're going to sleep tonight in a wee place called Scourie. Our B&B's just back. We just checked in, but unfortunately the weather is closing in. We've had so much good luck with the sunshine until now. 3 days of good sunshine, but it has run out. Tomorrow is a big drive, but it's going to rain the whole day. Tomorrow's going to be the best location, and unfortunately we're going to miss a lot of it because of the rain. So we're here early now, it's 6 o'clock, and we've got broken skies but a lot of cloud, but it's not raining. So I thought we'd take advantage of tonight, the next few hours, and see if we can get down the coast and see some nice places.
We finally reached the west coast, and in my opinion, the next section driving down the northwestern coast will include some of the most spectacular scenery on this road trip. And the next episode will definitely include some of the best parts.
We have reached the end of the road. This here behind me is one of the most beautiful beaches in all of Scotland. One of the most beautiful beaches in all of Europe. So we made this our ending point. Achmelvich Bay, Achmelvich Beach. But as you can see, the rain is relentless. It's been like this for 20 minutes now. I thought I'd come out the car, because if I don't come out and see this beach now, I might never get to do it. The sun is trying to poke its head through the clouds there, but I think essentially it's going to lose that battle because this rain is just not stopping. That was it. We made it to the end of the road today. Achmelvich Beach. I don't know if I'm saying that. Achmelvich. Something like that. Here in the northwest of Scotland. You can see the sand is just like white. Bright white. The water there is turquoise, but it's not going to do it justice today taking photos, unfortunately. So there you are. End of day 3. One whole more day of road tripping tomorrow, and it's going to rain apparently, but there's a lot of cool sights to see on the way down to our next destination, to our next final stop really. But I think really what this section of road is going to be, especially because the weather is going to be like this, is basically to enjoy driving that magnificent car on magnificent roads. We probably won't be getting out to do any sightseeing if the weather's like this, but you know what, we'll just try and make the most of it, feeling the road, and we'll see what that brings. But tonight I'm going back to the B&B now. Need to charge the car. It's got a destination charger at the B&B that'll do as well. So that was it, Achmelvich. Nice to meet you. Guys, thank you so much for watching episode 3 of my NC500 tour. There is just one more episode to go. I'd like to give a big massive thank you to all the people listed here on the side, because without their support on patreon.com, I could not be making this series. So a massive thanks to them. And a massive thanks to all of you for watching. I'm actually creating a special one-off postcard series, 4 postcards to celebrate the NC500 trip. And those postcards will be available to Patreon. So click on the link down below in the video description to find out about how you can get those postcards. Until the next adventure, I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is wherever you are in the world. Take care.